So there are 4+ systems in human design. It was created in 1987 by a man named Ra. And this man had basically what I call a divine download, where he was given 8 days of information to bring together a whole bunch of different systems that had been each individually used across thousands of years. Number one, I Ching. The I Ching has 64 hexagrams in it, and those 64 hexagrams become gates in human design. Number two, astrology. Everyone knows astrology, the 12 signs of the zodiac of astrology. So that's the second system. Number three, the Kabbalah and the circuitry of the tree of life. He calls it the paths of the Kabbalah. Number four, chakra systems. We end up with 9 chakra systems or 9 centers in human design. And then you add in the quantum field, quantum mechanics, and quantum physics, genes and amino acids, and you have human design. This is an amazing system. So here you can see in this circle, the hexagrams go all the way around the zodiac signs. The zodiac signs go all the way around in this inner circle. You can see your body graph in the middle. You can see the Kabbalah circuitry. That white line here is one of the circuitries that I'll show you. You can see the number, so the hexagram becomes the gate. So the gates become specific to the astrology sign. So you get so much information by combining all of these systems together. Let's see if I can figure out how to, oh, it's down here. So asking like, how does this work? Neutrinos are the science behind human design. Neutrinos are these abundant particles that have mass, that pass through matter, that pass through planets and stars and us. And they pass through 100 trillion neutrinos will pass through our body every second. And each time it passes through, it's putting an imprint of information in through what it's been already kind of streaming its energy through. And so these imprints are in us from when we're born and actually 88 days before we're born, and also connected to this ongoing neutrino stream, which is having an impact right now as we speak. Human design. Human design is the science of differentiation. Here is that same wheel that you saw on the first slide. Now it's clear. So you see the hexagrams, you see the gates, you see the astrology signs, and you see the body graph. And this is called the Rave Mandala. This is what he created initially when he published in, I think it was 1992. He finally brought human design, Ra finally brought human design to the world. There's a lot of different levels and a lot of different things that are going on. So how to understand your design. A human design chart includes 26 activations, 13 planetary imprints, 9 centers, 36 channels, 64 gates that come from the hexagrams, and 6 lines per gate. So as you see, there's a lot of information that we're getting in these charts about the neutrino stream that's individualized to you. So here's your chart. Here's what we're looking at. So there's a lot of different ways to begin to look at human design, but I'm going to just explain the structure of it first. So here, the black side is your personality. It's your conscious. It's what you are really aware of in yourself. This is when you're born. This is 88 days before you're born. This is what we call the design side or the unconscious side. And this is actually something you have to kind of dig for. It's in your unconscious. It's deep inside of you in your body. And other people, though, will see it in you probably before you see it in yourself. And if you're a little further towards midlife, you will probably start to be recognizing these parts in yourself more. And it's really our job to discover who we are from our conscious to our unconscious side of our activations. These activations are all based on planets. We have the sun, we have the earth, we have north node of the moon, south node of the moon. We have the moon, we have Mercury, we have Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And we have it on both sides. So we have our design side and we have our personality side when we're born. So these black and these red show up as gates. You'll see all these different gates here. So for example, this 44 You'll see here, it lives here in this center. And this gate is specific to the center that it lives in. So I am now going to talk about the centers. There's 9 centers. There's there's head, there's ajna, there's throat, there's your G, or what we call your identity and direction center. There's your will, and also known as your ego center. There's your emotional solar plexus center. There's your root center. There's your sacral center, and there's your splenic center or spleen. You'll notice that some are white and some are colored in. Doesn't matter the color, it just matters that it's colored. The white here are the challenge points and the growth points for the chart for this person. And in this case, this person is me. So I have challenge and growth points by having what are called undefined head, ajna, sacral, and root. These are where I amplify and I filter information that's coming at me from other people and also from the field, the collective, and also the transits of all of where the planets and everything are right now. So these become a really important part of your chart, the white parts, because it's really hard to distinguish between you, yourself, and the transits and the energy of all of that and what that means. When there's colored parts in your chart, this is consistent energy that will always be there. Unless you've had trauma that has like knocked things apart and knocked things into different directions, this energy will be really, really consistent. Now, we're all here because we've dealt with our trauma. We all are in the green zone. So this is more about you beginning to discover if these have been blocked, how to unblock them. And these would be considered consistent energy. Consistent energy means that 2 centers have a channel between them. These colored, this brown triangle, this pink triangle, gate 26 is the match to the 44. In this case, I have the channel of surrender. It's black on one side and red on the other side because my 44 gate is here in my sun, and my 26 comes from my red side over here. And so my black and my red are a combination of my conscious and my unconscious, of those 2 planetary activations. And that's important because each planet has a different theme. Each activation has a different theme. Each center has a different theme, and each gate has a different theme. Each gate, as a reminder of that wheel again, has an astrology gate. So that's another level that I look at to bring in the astrology even deeper beyond the traditional human design. So all of these gates have a home. And if you look at the centers, you can think of the centers as buildings with themes. And then you can look at the gates as the occupants of those buildings or centers. And every gate lives always in the same building. For example, like I said, the 44 lives in the spleen. The spleen is about instinct, intuition, and survival. So the 44 looks at patterns. It's constantly searching to make sure that the past doesn't, the bad things of the past don't reoccur. So it's constantly solutioning and strategically looking and trying to find ways to create transformation in the world, because 44 is Scorpio. Okay. There is also something at the end of the 44.5. That 0.5 is important. In human design and in the hexagrams, we look at the line to get even more specific about that particular gate. And so your first 2 gates here will have the same number, and your second over here, well, these 2 on the design side will also have the same number. This is something called your profile, and this is something that I can share with you how to use out in the world in your way if you are doing sessions with me. Okay, let me see what else is there that I wanted to share. I think that's everything on this slide. Okay. Moving on. There are 5 energy types, and the energy type is based upon the sacral center. There are manifestors, there are generators, there are projectors, and there's reflectors. And the 5th type, which is basically combined with a generator is called a manifestor generator. And a manifestor generator is a combination of a manifestor and a generator. Now, I'm going to move on to the next slide as I talk. Okay, generators. Generators and manifestor generators make up 70% of the population. They are the builders of the world. The generators and the manifestor generators have a defined sacral center. Root, sacral. It's the second box or square above the root, the bottom one. This sacral center is defined. It will always be colored in your chart if you're a generator or you're a manifestor generator. All other types are white and undefined. They have a defined sacral center, which gives them life force energy and vitality, and boy, do they move. So this generator here is different than the manifestor generator. The throat in human design, the center, is all about speaking in your voice, absolutely, but it's also how do you manifest in the world. And so this is where the manifestors are different, and the manifestor generators are different than a generator because their throat is connected to a motor. And in this case, the motor is the emotional solar plexus and the will center. Whereas here, you can see that their throat is white, it's undefined. So they're going to filter and amplify a lot of things through their throat, through other people and around them. So back to a generator. A generator is a builder. A generator is here to create mastery of their craft. They are about 35% of the population. And they thrive on work that makes them really happy and excited. They love groups, and their aura is very warm and enveloping. They love groups of people, and they love to teach also in groups of people. But when things aren't going so well, they are frustrated. So that is one of your signature themes of Not Self theme as a generator is frustration. But when things are going really well for generators, satisfaction. They feel so satisfied in their work, and that gives them a sense of success in a way. It makes them feel good in the world. It makes them feel valuable. Now, a generator, and this also includes a manifestor generator, but we'll just talk about generators for now. Generators, their strategy, so that's their strategy is how they work best in the world. Their strategy is to respond to opportunities that find them. So it's not always their best bet to go and just jump and push and start something if it's not feeling like it's the right thing for them. But if something comes to them that makes them excited and they've checked in with their bodies and it's yes, 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 that's when they get moving. So their strategy is to respond. Manifestor generators are different than generators because of that manifestor part. That manifestor part's connected to the throat. So they're constantly moving, they're manifesting, they're creating. They're like the multitaskers. If you think about a hummingbird, that would be a manifestor generator. They buzz and they move and they're excited and they have fun and they love their groups, especially. They're the initiators, they're the catalysts. Manifestor generators, about 35 also percent of the population. And every type is needed in the world. Every type has a purpose. And one thing with manifestor generators, they go so fast, they skip steps. And so that is when they're going to feel frustrated. That's the opposite of satisfied. So even though this slide says generators and manifestor generators, there's only one, this includes both in the strategy, in the aura, in the satisfaction, and in the frustration. But they're different types because they're here to do different things. Generators are builders. Manifesting generators are multitaskers. So they're starting so many different projects and doing so many things. It's like a busy bee, the buzz, 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 and they never stop moving. Moving on. Manifestors are different. They do not have a warm, enveloping aura of energy. It's actually kind of prickly. They don't like a lot of people around them. They like their projects. They like to initiate. They love what they're doing. But when they get interrupted, they can get angry. And this is their not self theme. This comes into their strategy. It's really important for them to inform the people around them that they're going to be busy, that they have things they're doing, and that they need to not be interrupted, that they're busy. Then they feel peace because they get to do their projects and they get to feel like comfortable in their world of creating because they are those amazing catalysts and initiators. And they're here to make a big impact. They are 9% of the population. We need manifestors. The fourth type is a projector. Projector is about 22% of the population. Their aura isn't as all very comfortable as well as the manifestor, but it's different. It is very focused and absorbing. So projectors work great one-on-one or small groups. Projectors are guides and sages in a way. We're here to create, we as in I'm a projector, that's why I say that. Projectors are here to be guides and share their wisdom. They're to be advisors. They're not the worker bees. And if you notice back, back to the manifestor, I'm just going to go back. I don't know if I can. That sacral center is white. They are a non-energy. The projector is white. They are a non-energy type. So they don't have this life force energy in them unless they connect to other people and their gates match, or the transits come in and their gates light up and they match to other gates that they have connected to that sacral. So projectors are like work, rest, rest, work, rest, rest. And a projector that's burnt out, which is very typical of projectors because we live in a go, 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 go crazy kind of world. Projectors will go rest, 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 go. And it takes a long time to recharge a projector that has burnt out. Projectors, because they have so much wisdom and knowledge to share, they can fire hose people. And when you fire hose as a projector, when you fire hose people without their permission, you get like a deer in the headlights. They just don't hear you. They can't hear what you're saying and they don't want to hear and they get irritated because you have provoked them. Your focused and absorbing energy as projector is poking at them and it makes them uncomfortable. And in fact, as a projector, we do make people uncomfortable, especially if they don't want to hear what we have to say. Then comes our strategy. Our strategy is to, for the big things in our life, wait. Wait, please wait. Wait to be invited. Wait for the opportunity in the quantum field to find you. Wait. And in the waiting, focus on the things you love to do. Focus on what inspires you. For me, I was waiting. I was waiting for Elena to find me. I didn't know Elena. Elena didn't know me. The field hadn't connected us, but I was waiting and I was working on this. I was learning all about human design, gene keys, and astrology and how to blend it all together. And I've been doing this for a little while. When I waited and I stopped and I recharged and I found the things that I was passionate about and I gained more knowledge and wisdom, I created an energy in me that then put it out into the field. I was starting to feel successful. I was starting to feel happy. But when a projector pushes and pushes and pushes and isn't heard and isn't seen and isn't valued and is fire hosing people and they don't want to hear their message, projectors get very, very bitter. So bitterness becomes the not self theme. So if you're a projector and you're feeling bitter in your life, there's something that you need to switch and change. And if you're a projector in our group, I know how to talk about projectors. I've really mastered this strategy as well. And then lastly, 1% of the population are reflectors. Notice all their centers. What color are they? They're white. They're undefined. There is no channels lighting up any of their centers in definition. That means that they are a completely open system. They're amplifying and filtering absolutely everything everywhere they go. Their strategy is to actually wait an entire cycle of the moon. The moon takes 30 days to go around the whole astrology wheel. And so in that, they then get to feel everything. They get to feel every gate, they get to feel everyone around them, and then they can decide if that decision is right for them or not. So they're constantly sampling. You can see their aura here. It's out there. It's in the field. It's sampling everything around them. But there's also a resistant energy to it. And they also have to invite people in. Reflectors, when they start to really live in their design, they are incredible speakers. They have so much wisdom to share. I have a friend who's a projector, and whenever he speaks, I just stop and listen in awe because he has learned to master this. Signature for positive signature is surprise. So when they're starting to feel surprise, they're experiencing something, they're learning something. It's something new. That's really exciting for them. But their not self theme is disappointment. Disappointment that they're not heard, they're not valued, they're not seen, they're not understood, tons of disappointment. But again, it's because they haven't waited, they haven't sorted out what's them and what's the field and what's people around them and what's the transits that literally turn on every 6 days or so. Because it takes about 5.3 days for each gate of the astrology wheel of the moon to so it takes the whole 30 days. And that's why the reflector waits that. Okay. So I don't know how long I've been talking here, but here is all of the different ways to apply your human design, your divine design to you. There are so many different ways, and there's actually more that I've learned. You can take a screenshot of that and see if any of these, and a lot of these are things you've actually sent me in the email that you were looking for support in, and I've added a few other things, especially relationship companionship charts. You can take 2 charts of people that you love together, major life cycles. These are at around 28 to 30, around 40 to 42, and 48 to 50. If you're in that age range, you probably would love to learn information about how to blend that information of that age and your birth chart together in a companionship chart. It is a very powerful reading. And there's also readings that can be including business by design. Okay. Whew. One other thing that I dived into at the same time I was given my human design chart, I was given this chart. And it was created by, Gene Keys was created by Richard Rudd. He worked with Ra for about 11 years, I believe. But Ra eventually sent him on his way and said, my work's different than yours. And Richard Rudd focused on the gates. And he wanted to create different energy to understand the gates. Because in human design, some of the gates are quite negative. Like gate 6 is the gate of conflict. Okay, well, in the Gene Keys, it's conflict, yes, that's a shadow, diplomacy, and then peace. And so what Richard did was he gave us different frequencies for the gates to begin to understand them on a deeper level. The other thing he did is he created something called your golden path, which is this beautiful process. But in your readings, if you decide to do a session with me and you're interested in really learning about who you are, we'll work on your life's work, your evolution, your radiance, and your purpose to get you started. A lot of this after the session will be learning and processing what we have gone through. So ultimately, in the end, I pull from many different ways. Astrology and Gene Keys, the Rave Mandala, Gene Keys, and also human design. And so I don't read all of this. This seems like a lot, but I will pick and choose the things in your chart specific to your questions, specific to what you're looking for. And that is how I can help support you in the advanced level. And what will you do with your design? Feel free to reach out to me with questions in email, or there's also a Calendly link that Elena has sent out if you already want to book a reading with me even before the masterclass. See you then.